ask you this. So one thing, I mean, you said yes to being the host, but the role requires a lot more guidance than maybe you initially expected, right? Like you're not only just kicking off the show and like setting the baseline or the storylines
Yeah.
for these people to fall in love, but like you're also a support system for the leads and some contestants. Do you feel like, okay, this is a two-part question. Do you feel like when you were the Bachelor that you still had that same support structure, or did you go into this knowing like you maybe had lacked some things when you were the lead and you wanted to be able to give more to the leads and contestants when you became host?
That's a great questions. I think a lot of it is really unique and individual to the lead, to you, Becca, to Michelle, and sort of what you
Mhm.
felt you needed or wanted. And that's certainly how I felt too. I didn't ask for a lot of guidance on mine. And I
Mhm.
think part of that was because the show was new, and that role hadn't really clearly been defined. I wasn't sure if I was allowed to, if I should, what
Mhm.
things, and so I think what I learned is Clayton was a very different Bachelor than Zach, and so both need different things. I
Yeah.
one thing I've always really tried to be careful of. I still try to make this a priority. I just don't want to interject myself and make it about me. Here's what
Mhm.
I think.
Mhm.
Here's what I think. Here's what I think. Totally, I'm always going to be so happy to give my advice, my help. Not saying it's going to be the right answer
Mhm.
if it's asked for, right? um, or if I feel like it's warranted and needed. And like there was a moment on Rachel's season where she was really down when we were in Bruges, and I went and spoke to her sort of privately in her on the boat, and just because she needed, I felt like she needed someone to talk to.
Yeah.
And so with Zach, I feel like you're always wearing different hats with each lead. Zach was someone I learned pretty quickly that he needs support, and
Mhm.
he's someone who has amazing intentions. The last thing Zach ever wants to do is hurt anybody's feelings, and I know we say that about a lot of people. Zach takes goodbyes very hard,
Mm.
very tough, and there were some moments I think during this season where he had eliminated someone or sent someone home, and he got really emotional, and
Mhm.
the weight of the moment really hit him. And there was a lot of times where I think in the past it's like, all right, rose ceremony, everybody's done, off we go, and we'll
Mhm.
get ready for the next day. You really had to sort of wait around
Mhm.
and be there for him. Sometimes on camera, but other times just to stick
Yeah.
around and be there for him, to talk to him off camera and be like, hey man, are you doing okay?
Yeah.
Let's talk
Interesting.
about it. Let's talk about
Mhm.
it. So, it's I think doing this job, there's a lot of different
Mhm.
things you have to do. But I think so much of it depends on who the person is and what it is they need or what it is they want. But one thing I know is I don't ever want to push myself on them,
Mhm.
if they decide they don't need it or want it.